Majnoon al-Sunnah. That was his name. Majnoon, whacked, wacky, crazy. Majnoon al-what? Sunnah. Abdullah ibn Umar followed the footprints of Rasulullah to the T. To the T. To the point he was that bad, good really, but in our terms, he was that bad that once he was walking in a place on his horse. And he was walking and there was some people there and there was nothing there, and as he was walking, he ducked his head down and then he put his head back up. People looked around and said, what is wrong with this bloke? So they said to him, Abdullah, what did you do that for? He says, I remember years ago when I was with Rasulullah, he came to this place, there was a tree right there and there was a branch, and when he was walking, he bent his head down at that point and put his head back up. He said, I didn't want to move. He says, I didn't want to cross that place and not do the action of Rasulullah, even though the tree wasn't there, man. He was that cracked to the point. Brother, branch wasn't even there anymore. He says, I wasn't going to go past until I bent my head like Rasulullah bent it. And he followed him to the T. Abdullah says, I was a young boy. He says, and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he grabbed me by my shoulders. And for the Arabs at that time, when you grab someone by his shoulders, what does it mean? It means, bro, what I'm about to tell you now is very important. So Abdullah is saying, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam grabbed me, bro. Look at this honor, man. He says, he grabbed me by my shoulders and he says, Abdullah, he says, كن في الدنيا كأنك غريب أو عابر السبيل. He says, Abdullah, live in this dunya like a stranger, like a traveler. Abdullah says, Wallahi, from that day on, he says, if I live to see the morning, I never planned on seeing the night. And if Allah gave me life to see the night, he says, by Allah, I never planned on seeing the morning. Look at the example, look at the analogy Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is giving us. A traveler, a stranger. My brothers, have you ever been to a place and you're a stranger? Anyway, like, I'm sure, you know, I know for me, maybe, you know, like when I go down north, whatever, in Vaucluse or in Double Bay and whatever, and I have to walk out and go to the shops, ya Allah, get me the hell out of there, bro. I'm uncomfortable. Why? You're a fish out of water. Fish out of water. Wallahi, you don't even absorb the area. Like, I don't even, just get me out, bro. Get me out. That's a stranger. He says, or a traveler. And I love the analogy of the traveler. Why? My brothers, when you travel, my sisters in this dunya, when you travel, what do you take with you, man? Do you take your car? Do you take your house? You take a bag, man. You take a bag. If you're lab, you take a really big bag. But nevertheless, it's a bag. True? It's a bag. Maybe your auntie give you the ghaseli, take it to your uncle in Lebanon. Other than that, really. But in all, what do you take with you? What do you travel with? The necessities, bro. I'm going to an area that I don't know. What do? You usually jump online. What's the weather like there? If it's really hot, do you take winter clothes with you? You might take a jumper in case I get caught out. Minimums, bare minimums. Do you take all your wardrobe? You take what I need, man. That's how you should really live in dunya. The bare minimum, man. What do I need to get by? What do I need to get by? And then he says, what? You're a traveler. He says, this world, he says, he's speaking about himself. He says, my example to this world is like someone walking by, someone who's traveling. He sees a tree. Someone's walking in the desert. He sees a tree. He says he takes some rest under the tree, takes some rest for an hour or two, and then picks himself up and continues on. He says that stay, those 2 hours of rest, he says that's my dunya, man. Brothers and sisters, wallahi, that's what you're doing here, man. Anyone here traveled? Anyone ever flown to Saudi or to Lebanon? Yeah? You fly where first to? Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and you're there in transit. Usually for how long? 3-4 hours tops, yeah? 3-4 hours. You're there in transit. Look at the analogy of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's telling you dunya, really, dunya is Dubai airport. Really, dunya is Dubai airport, and your destination is where? Wherever it is, whether it's Saudi or Lebanon. But in reality, what's your destination? Where does everyone here want to go? To Jannah. And I'm here. Did you ever in your life go to Dubai airport? I want you to imagine, me and Yas, we went to Dubai and we're in transit there for 3 hours, okay, and my connecting flight is at gate 54. So me and Yas arrive, he looks at the time, he says, bro, we've only got a few hours, man, there's no point. Where's gate 54? And he starts walking off to gate 54. He says, Hoblos, come along. I tell him, cuz I'm not coming with you. Show me. Bro, look at this airport, bro, look how mad it is. Look how hectic it is, bro. You see the shops? Bro, they have a booth, you can smoke in it. And if you're outside, you can't smell it, bro. Wallah, you can't smell it. He says to me, but bro, our connecting flight is in a few hours. We need to be waiting at gate 54. I tell me, but cuz, man, alright. Let's just at least enjoy our time here in Dubai. He says to me, yeah, but it's an airport. I tell him, yeah, but I want to buy a house, man. You're laughing. But that's what we're all doing here. I'm not saying buying a house is haram now. Come to me, oh, Hoblos, bro, are you saying that if I buy a house? No. But the concept of it. But if I told you I went to Dubai airport and I bought a house, I started looking for a wife, opened up a business, and my connecting flight is in 4 hours. Yeah, tell me, bro, you're a spinner. Wallahi, we're laughing because we know. Connecting flight is when? In 4 hours. What do you do in 4 hours? You might go to the toilet, grab a feed, buy a sandwich. You might buy something small for someone. But that's all you really do. And then you go to gate 54 and you wait for your flight. Wallahi, 4 hours is a long time. No one here is guaranteed 4 minutes. And in reality, what are we all doing, man? We're making dunya what? Our home, man. We're making what? Dunya our what? Our home. And my brothers, the reality of it all is, we need to understand, and I'll end with this. I can see the brothers are getting tired. The reality of dunya, and I gave this example when I was here last time, when we spoke about Jannah and that. My brothers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He designed dunya in such a way, it can never please you. You can never be satisfied here, my brother. My sister, wallahi, no matter what you have, you will never, ever be happy. Designed by Allah this way. The only time you will ever see true happiness is where? Is in Jannah. This world can never satisfy the hunger of man. Never. And I give this example all the time. It's a funny example, but it's true. And I'm sure many of you, so I speak about myself so no one gets upset, no one gets offended. I remember when I was young, I was a little boy. Does anyone remember when the Nintendo first came out? Yeah? But the original.